Hello students, let us learn general science for class 8 from the book Science Square. Today we are going to learn chapter Stars and the Solar System. In this chapter we shall discuss about the stars, the constellations, the solar system, the planets and the other celestial objects. What is the meaning of celestial objects? The moon is the brightest object in the night sky. The stars, the planets, the moon and the other objects in the sky, we'll call it as the celestial objects. The study of celestial objects and associated phenomena is called astronomy. In ancient India, the passage of sun, stars, moon and the planets in the sky helped them to devise calendars and almanacs. They had better understanding of climate and rainfall patterns for timely sowing and choice of crops. They also fixed the date of the seasons and festivals. Let us now discuss about the moon. We know that the moon is the brightest object in the night sky. Let us discuss about the phases of the moon. The various shapes of the bright part of the sun as seen during a month is called phases of the moon. The day on which the whole disk of the moon is visible is known as the full moon day. Thereafter, every night, the size of the bright part of the moon appears to become thinner and thinner. You can see the phases of the moon getting thinner and thinner from the first quarter to the last quarter. On the 15th day, the moon is not visible. This day is known as the new moon day. The next day, only a small portion of the moon appears in the sky. This is known as crescent moon. Again, the moon grows larger every day. On the 15th day, once again, we get a full view of the moon. We see the moon because the sunlight falling on it gets reflected towards us. So, during the phases of the moon, the new moon day and the full moon day are important part. Let us now discuss about the surface of the moon. The moon's surface is dusty and barren. There are many craters of different sizes. It also has a number of steep and high mountains. Some of these mountains are also as high as the highest mountains on the earth. The moon has no atmosphere and no water. Therefore, life cannot exist on the moon. Let us now discuss about the next celestial object, stars. We can see a large number of stars in the sky. It emits its light on its own. The sun is also called a star. The stars are millions of times farther away from the sun, and hence the stars appears to us like points. The stars are present in the sky during the daytime also, but they are not visible due to the presence of bright sunlight. The stars appears to move from the east to west. There is a special star called the pole star, which is situated in the direction of the Earth's axis, but does not move. Let us now discuss about the constellations. The stars forming a group that has a recognizable shape is called constellation. You can easily identify some constellations in the night sky. One of the famous constellations which you can see during the summertime is Ursa Major. It is also known as Big Dipper, that means Great Bear or Saptarishi. Saptarishi. Saptarshi. There are 7 prominent stars which appears like a big ladle or a question mark. There are 3 stars in the handle of the ladle and 4 on its bowl. Let us now discuss about the main constellation Orion. It is called the Hunter. We can see this constellation during winter in the late evenings. It is one of the most magnificent constellations in the sky. It has 7 or 8 bright stars. The 3 middle stars represent the belt of the hunter. The 4 bright stars appear to be arranged in the form of quadrilateral. The star Sirius, which is brightest star in the sky, is located close to the Orion. Let us now discuss about the Cassieopeia constellation. It is a prominent constellation seen in the northern sky. It is visible during winter in the early part of the night. It looks like a distorted letter W or young. Let us now discuss about our solar system. The sun and the celestial bodies which revolve around it form the solar system. It consists of a large number of bodies such as planets, comets, asteroids, and meteors. The gravitational attraction between the sun and these objects keep them revolving round it. There are 8 planets that revolve round the sun. According to their order of the distance from the sun, it is Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. Let us now discuss about the sun and the planets. The sun is the nearest star from us. It is continuously emitting huge amounts of heat and light. The sun is the source of almost all energy on the earth. The sun is a main source of heat and light for all the planets. The planets do not have light on their own. The stars twinkle, whereas planets do not. The planets keep changing their position with respect to the stars. So you can see the sun is the nearest star. It is in the order of Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. Sun emits continuous huge amounts of heat and light, and so it is a major source of energy of all on the earth. It is a main source of heat and light to the all planets. Sun is a major source of light and heat for all the planets. The difference between the planets and the stars is that planets do not have light on their own, whereas stars do have light of their own. Stars twinkle, whereas planets do not. Planets keep changing their position with respect to the stars, and stars do not move. A planet has a definite path in which it revolves around the sun. This path, we call it as a orbit. The time taken by a planet to complete one revolution is called its period of revolution. The period of revolution increases as the distance of the planet increases from the sun. A planet also rotates on its own axis like a top. The time taken by a planet to complete one rotation, we'll call it as a period of rotation. Remember, revolution is the time taken by a planet to complete one revolution, whereas the time taken by a planet to complete one rotation, we'll call it at a period of rotation. Some planets are known to have moons or satellites revolving around them. Any celestial body revolving around another celestial body is called its satellite. Moon is a satellite of the Earth. There are many man-made satellites revolving around the Earth. We call these as artificial satellites. Let us now discuss about the planets Mercury and Venus. Mercury. It is the nearest planet to the Sun. It is smallest planet among the solar system. It is very close to the Sun and hence it is difficult to be observed. It is hidden in the glare of the Sun most of the time. However, we can see them before sunrise or just after sunset near the horizon. Mercury has no satellites, that is, no moons of its own. Venus. It is the brightest planet in the night sky. Sometimes it appears in the eastern sky also before the sunrise. It also appears in the western sky after sunset, and hence we call them as a morning or an evening star. We can see them before sunrise and also after sunset, and hence Venus is called a morning or an evening star. Venus has no moon or satellite of its own. Rotation of Venus on its axis is somewhat unusual because it rotates from east to west, while the Earth rotates from west to east. Venus shows phases just like the moon. Let us now discuss about the next planet, Earth and Mars. Earth. Earth is the only planet in the solar system on which life is known to exist. Some special environmental conditions, such as right temperature, presence of water and suitable atmosphere, and a blanket of ozone are responsible for the existence, and hence continuation of life on the Earth is possible. From space, if you happen to see the Earth, you can see it is a blue-green because of the reflection of light from water and landmass on its surface. The axis of the rotation of the Earth is not perpendicular to the plane of its orbit. It is tilted. Hence, we have difference change the season of the Earth. Earth has only one moon. Let us now discuss about Mars. It is the first outside the orbit of the Earth, which is slightly reddish and hence it is called the red planet. It has two small natural satellites, that is moon. Let us now discuss about the next planets, Jupiter and Saturn. Jupiter. It is the largest planet of the solar system with a mass about 318 times that of our Earth. It rotates very rapidly on its axis. It has large number of satellites with faint rings around it. It can be seen easily as it appears quite bright in the sky. With a helipop telescope, we can see four of its large moons. Saturn. It appears yellow in color with beautiful rings. These rings are not visible with the naked eye. It has a large number of satellites. Its density is less than that of water. The last two planets, Uranus and Neptune. These are outermost planets of the solar system. They can be seen only with the help of large telescopes. Uranus rotates from east to west, like, yes, Venus. The most remarkable feature of Uranus is that it has highly tilted rotational axis. Because of its orbital motion, it appears to roll on its side. inner planets and the outer planets. The first four planets, that is Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars, are much nearer to the Sun than the other four planets. Hence, these four planets are called inner planets. All these inner planets will have only few moons or no moons. On the other hand, the planets which are outside the orbit of Mars, that is Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune, are much farther away than the inner planets. These are called outer planets. They have a ring system around them. These outer planets will have large number of moons compared to the inner planets. Let us now discuss about other members of the solar system. First, let us discuss about asteroids. What is this asteroids? There is a large gap in between the orbits of Mars and the Jupiter. You can see the gap has been occupied by a large number of small objects that revolve around the Sun. These are called asteroids. We can see these asteroids through large telescopes. The next member which we can see in the solar system is the comet. They revolve around the Sun in highly elliptical orbits. It appears as a bright head with a long tail. The length of the tail grows in size as it approaches the Sun. The tail of the comet is always directed away from the Sun. Many comets are known to appear periodically. One such comet is Halley's Comet, which appears nearly every 76 years. It was last seen in 1986. Let us now discuss about the next member of the solar system, meteors and meteorites. At night, when the sky is clear and the moon is not there, we may see bright streaks of light in the sky. These are commonly known as shooting stars, although they are not original stars. These are called meteors. The meteors are the small objects that occasionally enters the Earth's atmosphere with a very high speed. They cause a friction due to which they heat up. It glows and evaporates quickly, and therefore this bright streak lasts only for a few minutes. Some meteors are large and hence they can reach the Earth before they get evaporated. The body that reaches the Earth is called meteorite. Meteorites help scientists in investigating the nature of the material from which the solar system was formed. Let us now discuss about artificial satellites. You know that there are a large number of artificial satellites orbiting the Earth. Artificial satellites are man-made. They are launched from the Earth. They revolve around the Earth much closer than the Earth's natural satellite, the Moon. India has built and launched several artificial satellites such as INSAT, IRS, Kalpana 1, EduSat, etc. Aryabhatta was the first Indian satellite. Artificial satellites are used for forecasting weather, transmitting television, radio signals, telecommunication, and remote sensing. This ends the chapter. We are going to have a chapter recap. The phases of the moon occur because we can see only that part of the moon, which reflects the light of the sun towards us. Stars are the celestial bodies that emit light of their own. It appears to move from the east to west. The pole star appears to be stationary from the Earth as it is situated close to the direction of the axis of the rotation of the Earth. Constellations are the group of stars that appear to form recognizable shapes. The solar system consists of 8 planets, asteroids, comets, and meteors. A body revolving around another body is called a satellite. Moon is a natural satellite of the Earth. Some planets have natural satellites. The artificial satellites revolve around the Earth or much closer than the Moon. Artificial satellites are used for weather forecasting, long distance communication, and remote sensing. This ends the chapter.